cosmology. Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120. That is 1 with 120 zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon.
People now, there's a new phenomenon.
There wasn't really any moment back in
Ever, never ever. Has anyone ever believed this?
the ancient Greeks.
We have the Greeks, and what we know this. This is known.
And Christopher Columbus, they knew the earth was round.
This has always been known. This guy's such a clown. What a clown. So today, we're back out here, back outside. Spring has sprung. Beautiful day again. It's getting warmer every day. Apologize if there's some wind. It's just nature doing its thing, you know? So basically, today's topic is spells. I spoke about them before, but I'm gonna go in depth of a little bit of how they're concocted, spells and how they're concocted. So as you could see, Mr. Trudeau is freaking losing it. And I mentioned before, the truth does not have to be defended, right? So whenever you see these people like reiterating and ramming down an idea down your throat and, you know, trying to convince you, coercion, you know that there's something weird, something's off, you know, because there's always the same tactics are used. So for these spells, something that I notice with them is there's always a keyword, right? So a keyword is key. You gotta have a keyword, slogan. You know, sloganeering is very important to this type of psychological warfare, we'll call it. And when I say spells, you know, people may think, oh yeah, this guy is crazy, he's talking about witchcraft and spells and this and that. Now, when I say spells, I'm not talking about someone with a cauldron mixing up some kind of mixture, some kind of spooky magic soup. People don't do that. Well, maybe some people do, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the psychological spells that are practiced, and they're kind of, you know, thrown at us regularly. This is normal things for these people, politicians, celebrities, brands. So the number one thing is they have a keyword, you know. Oh, you're anti-masker. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're a flat earther, you know. Another factor that they'll that you can see is so you have the sloganeering, you have the keywords, slogans and keywords. You have also the intent to isolate or alienate, or to make someone feel uneducated, stupid, unlearned on a subject, or you know, ignorant in general. So no one wants to feel stupid, obviously. No one wants to feel alienated. Nobody nobody wants to feel stupid. Nobody wants to feel alienated. So this is a very effective technique, because they'll always use terms like, oh, we've known, we all know, everyone knows. You know, even Trump's a great example for this. You would say, you know, it's framing of a certain idea. Oh, we all know this, everyone knows X, Y, Z. And if you don't know that, internally in your head, if you kind of say, oh, I didn't know that, you kind of feel stupid, right? So you're kind of more prone to accept an idea if it's led in by everyone knows XYZ. So you see this guy, he's like, oh, this is a new phenomenon. I don't know where he got this from. This guy just lies like a rug. None of this is new. And something that I find interesting, going back to the whole sloganeering and keywords, the keywords are very important because it helps demonize people, right? It helps put a label on people, right? So right away, if you say you don't believe in that the earth is a spinning ball, right, chasing the sun, right away people, oh, you're a flat earther, oh, flat earther. And a lot of quote-unquote flat earthers will get in trouble with this because they are actually flat earthers, and they will present a model. They'll present a flat earth model, right? Now, here's where I shine. Here's where I excel. I don't make claims, right? I only attack claims that I don't agree with, right? And I use internal critique. I use their own logic, their own numbers, their own statistics, their own mainstream information to internally critique an idea, a situation, a mantra, a belief, whatever it may be. And this is the best technique you can use, is to use their own numbers, their own equations, their own information against them, because they're giving you enough rope to hang them with. They make these very haughty claims. They make these very outrageous declarations of distance, of size, of how things work, and they have zero proof for any of these claims that they're making. So you can deal with that. You can deal with that head on and just say, look, you've got no evidence for these claims you're making. Human beings, it's human nature to want to always know everything and insert a new model when they've just debunked another model. Don't do that. I know we're very inclined to wanting to get to the bottom of everything and knowing everything and claiming that we know everything and replacing something you've debunked with a new theory or a new gospel of how it works. But don't do that. I don't present any flat, quote-unquote flat-to earthy models or math or anything. Everything I say is either observable, visually observable, first person, what I can see, and the logical conclusion I could come to on my own, and mainstream cosmology, mainstream astronomy. So like that, people can't say, well, they'll still say it because they're just trained. It's such a script. But they don't really have an argument to tell me that I'm a flat-to earthu or I'm this or I'm that, because I'm not. I just don't think what they say is exactly accurate. Or I should say, I know for a fact that what they say is not exactly accurate. But I'm not gonna go down that road of presenting a new model and saying this is what it is, because I have no proof as well. And this is where both sides get into trouble, because both sides claim that they know for a fact. And the majority of these globe heads don't even know these numbers. The majority of them have never even been on the NASA website, probably. I've been all over that site. I've read their stuff. I know the numbers. I know the distances. I know how far the moon is. I know, again, the mainstream information, not any rabbit hole YouTube weird videos. Mainstream numbers. I know most of that stuff. And another thing is, people will act like you grew up, like, not to insult any countries or regions or whatever. Well, they'll act like you grew up in a third world country and you had no education. Like, I grew up in a first world country. I went to mostly private schools. And I've learned all about our solar system, our universe, our galaxy, our X, our Y, our Z, right? So I don't know where people get this idea that like I don't, I haven't been taught that the earth is revolving around the sun and the numbers and the this and the that and the distance. It's absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And like, I thought at first that this stuff was insane. Insane. But after what we've all been through over the past few years and seeing these keywords, the repetition, the, the alienation, the, pointing fingers like, oh, this person doesn't know, this person doesn't trust the science, this person doesn't know, they don't know. I know, but they don't know. They're ignorant. After having gone through that, anything's possible. That's the way I see it. These people will go to any lengths. These people will go to any length to deceive you for any type of reason, and saying why would they lie or this or that or there'd be too many people in on it, like that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation for another day. If you just look at the numbers, look at the equations, look at the math, do the math, look at the discrepancies, look at the stuff they explain away and say that these are anomalies that can't be explained yet to their claims, and come to your own conclusion. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to think or how to think, but do yourself a favor and come to your own conclusion. Don't have this religious, view of these people where they're like, they know so much, you know nothing, so you're just going to trust them through blind faith. Like that's not a way to live, guys. So I just wanted to jump on and tackle Mr. Trudeau and his freaking damage control panicking. That to me looks like panic. I always give the analogy like, imagine you're trying to pick up a woman. Imagine you're trying to date a woman and you have to convince her. You keep telling her like, oh yeah, I'm really cool. Like, yeah, like I could point you to my friend, my buddy Alan will vouch for me. Like, call him. Here's his number. I'm really cool. Everyone knows I'm cool. I'm really chill. I'm like the coolest guy there is. Do you really think that would work on a woman that you're courting? You have to constantly convince her, and if ever she had any dissent or she didn't agree or she was kind of getting cold feet, you just started, labeling her and calling her a bunch of names. And some men do this, so it's definitely not something that doesn't happen in the dating world. So I see the fractal psychology there, where it's just like these guys, everyone knows, we all know, the Greeks, the Greeks, the Greeks.
The ancient Greeks